You better know this song. I know you know this song. My name's Jonas. I'm carrying the world.
Thanks for all you've shown us.
This is how we feel. Come sit next to me. Pour yourself some tea. Just like Grandma made when
we couldn't find
I'm the guy who invented the thing that's gonna take us out of this place. If you could read my mind, you would know what kind of pajamas I want when it comes to bedtime. Footy, 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 footy pajamas. Footy, 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 footy pajamas. Footy, 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 footy pajamas. They let me be what I want to be.
Wait, not a real fan.
Okay. This is Let Me Pitch This To You, episode 17. I'm Ian Lund. This is Marcus Nip.
What's up? Get like the beer commercials. What's up? Crushed it.
We're not condoning drinking, Marcus. No, drinking.
Unless you're driving.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally cool. And we're
Just
fans.
like drugs. No, don't not do drugs, gentlemen.
Drugs, not hugs. One of those could be considered sexual assault.
Okay, this is why no one follows us.
Because I'm hilarious? I don't think that's it.
Marcus, what's this show about?
This is Let Me Pitch This To You. It's an idea podcast. Thanks for actually making me pay attention to the show and stop working on my computer. It's an idea podcast where two fairly creative guys get together. They share whatever they've been working on for that week or months or however long the story's been bouncing around in their head. Then, especially as of late, less super prepared. Well, like, no matter how thought out it is, but very, very much collaboratively flush out each other's ideas, helping each other in a fun friendship workspace. And then we have you guys, instead of voting for a person necessarily, more vote on an idea to see which idea you like.
Because we have to be, it's all about equality.
Also, we give out participation ribbons from here on out for any guest who comes on our show.
Yeah, and for those of us that don't win, we get a participation ribbon.
That says you won.
Yep.
It lies.
The government's making us do that.
Well, speaking of winning, who won last week's episode?
It was kind of a tie.
No, I'm going to say
I think
I won,
Matt
but
liked
I
mine
had 2 votes.
better. Matt liked mine better.
I had 2 votes. He had my name down. Wait, no.
But that was for the previous episode.
No. He had my name down 3 times. I got 3 separate votes.
For the
joke?
No, wait. No, that was because we collaborated kind of on mine.
Yes.
And he did +1 on my idea with both of us, so...
Yes, because I helped flesh out your own idea, and then you didn't help with my idea nearly as much. So I got 3 votes to Ian's 1 vote, and Joe's also 1 vote. So somebody who's never been on our show tied with you.
That's fair. I didn't put a lot of effort in, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think you put a lot of effort in just once we started recording. You didn't have a lot of effort in beforehand.
But that's okay, I got a pretty cool bit.
Considering Matt's the only person who voted, and speaking of Matt, we can jump right into
M cubed. Alright, what Matt has to say. I like Marcus's pitch for the Pokemon versus random syllables game. You could put it on the shelf next to those other games that you only pull out when non-gamers or parents come over.
My dad actually plays a lot of Pokemon.
I also liked the origin/nemesis idea that you both hashed out for the radio wave character. I enjoy listening to the creative process unfold like that. I've also been reading some of the classic Asimov robot books recently, so the idea of this blank slate character struggling to deal with the implications of a system of morality that doesn't mesh with actual human behavior is fresh in my mind right now. It is a very intriguing idea. I guess teleporting is cool too. Joe's expansion of Marcus's idea of the world without rock and roll was also an extremely good idea. I'm much more interested in the show if it's set in that world. I gotta say that's probably my favorite idea so far.
It's very good.
In the last couple episodes.
Very, very good.
Blake's idea was still my favorite. That one about Matt's that we did was pretty good, but this is pretty close on one of my favorites.
I like Joe's the best. I like it the best. I think Blake had the best idea, and
Mhm.
thank goodness that it's on the crap audio episode, so nobody will really hear that one. For Blake to show us up for who knows
Oh, dude,
how
I'm
long.
gonna fix that episode one day for people to listen to.
That'd be the worst. All of a sudden, people are like, hey, get that guy back on here. He lives in California. It's not this show.
Anyway, Marcus's actual pitch briefly reminded me of the subplot in the Watchmen graphic novel, where the new Night Owl has his relationship with the
Night
earlier
Owl.
generations. Night Owl. I don't know why I read that Night Owl and not Night Owl. But as you said, the current generational gap is much larger than the 50s to 80s one from Watchmen. So I think you could get a lot more mileage out of it. That's a good dynamic, and I think you could definitely build a good story with it. I'd definitely read it. Quote of the episode, "You made the cardinal mistake of thinking Matt was wrong."
I thought that was a good brownie point, so I was hoping for votes.
Alright,
Do you want to go first or me? Mine's very silly this week, but I like it.
mine's kind of short, but it's, I don't even want to say it's silly. It's just kind of based on a really cool TV show that I've
Mine's silly
very much enjoyed.
and based on a billion TV shows.
How long is yours?
It's short, dog.
Really short?
This might be a 20-minute episode if we squeeze that much out of it.
Okay, well, I'll go with mine first.
Cool.
So we can kind of hash it out, because I have some ideas in the works, but I also kind of want to anyway. So, have you ever seen the show Quantum Leap?
Nope.
You suck. Matt, I really hope you've seen the show Quantum Leap. It's a really good show. Anyways, that's kind of what I was basing my idea out of. So the theory of this show is this scientist, Sam Beckett. He can travel through time within his
Sam
own...
Bigot?
Beckett.
Sorry, I was really, really late on that joke. Keep going. I'm sorry.
He can travel through time within his own lifetime. And I just thought it was an interesting idea. I think the idea of him... And the thing is he jumps... he can't control where he jumps. He just jumps back in time or somewhere in the timeline, and he has to fix something that went wrong. It's kind of like Doctor Who, but actually good.
No, Doctor Who's not.
I think I got Matt's vote on this, so
Okay,
don't argue.
no,
Don't argue, Matt. Don't argue, Marcus.
No. Doctor Who. Now, here's what I'm saying. If you want a very, very, very well thought out, no loopholes, ridiculously well made story about time travel, we're freaking gonna have a rooster crow in this episode. Unless you edit that noise out, sorry.
Alright.
Then Doctor Who is not your show. Doctor Who is never trying to be that show. I think,
That's
I
fair.
legitimately think, most people I know who have a problem with Doctor Who are thinking of it in the sense that, they want this, very well-made time travel story. Doctor Who is
It's
not
kind of more
that.
just a silly
Doctor
story,
Who is
yeah.
let me play around with this very
Let's make it as extreme
yeah,
as we can. Okay.
interesting character and very fun dynamic and very over-the-top and, ridiculous, where they, depending on the Doctor, will say the most ridiculous, science fiction bullcrap stuff, but they deliver it in such a convincing and compelling way that, I would argue that Doctor Who is much more of a character story, character piece, more than it is a time travel show.
That's fair.
At least of, the new reboot of it.
That's fair.
What I'm trying to say is it's not trying to be the same thing as the show you're talking about. And what it
No,
is
I know.
trying
I
to
was
be,
just trying to make a joke.
it
Okay.
excels at.
Alright. So, back to
I'm just trying to pad the
No, you're
episode
good.
to get it to 20 minutes. I'm
You're
sorry.
good, you're good. No, that's good, because this is pretty short anyways. So, anyway, Quantum Leap's a little different. It's much more serious. There's one episode where he actually runs into, this devil character who's... You find out that's who's been going back and messing up the timeline. Anyway, so...
Did you just drop a huge spoiler for Quantum Leap casually?
This show's, 30 years old, dude. Spoilers aren't even...
Okay, I have a question, Ian. No, Ian, I have a question, real quick. Let's say, remember that great one-season TV show, Heroes? You're halfway through Heroes, a show that's been off air for a good long time, and I tell you how Heroes ends. Is that not a spoiler?
Okay, I didn't tell you how
Did I not spoil a huge plot hole? Fine.
It's
Fine.
not a huge
No,
plot hole.
for-
Okay, here's the thing.
Spoilers for Heroes. Freaking
Here's the thing,
when
here's the
Nate
thing.
figures out he can fly
Okay.
and flies on command, it is a spoiler for that show. And if I tell you that happens, then I spoiled part of Heroes for you. It doesn't matter when you've seen it.
Here's the thing. it's not a spoiler because the thing about Quantum Leap, each episode's kind of standalone. This is like there's like a couple episodes that like kind of link together.
Is this one of those
show.
episodes?
It's
So
kind
yes.
of iffy.
So
It's
yes,
kind
it
of
is.
iffy.
So
because it's never referenced any other time after the series. So anyway, let me finish. So my idea was merging kind of like
edit a spoiler alert in.
a Quantum Leap idea with like kind of an Indiana Jones type of character.
So I have a question. Okay,
So I have this character.
no, I have a
What's your
legitimate question. Like this isn't a bullcrap one. So is this taking place in the world of Quantum Leap?
No,
or is
no,
it
it's
your,
just
your
kind
own
of
thing? It's based off of Quantum
It's
Leap.
based off
and
of like a
Indiana
time
Jones.
travel idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I should have specified. So yeah, it's gonna be like this doctor, this scientist who time travels. I shouldn't say doctor. I take that back because that sounds like Doctor Who again.
Okay.
Some
so
kind
like he has a companion.
Yeah,
And then,
no, he does not. Okay. Anyway, but he's like an Indiana Jones type of character, but he travels in time looking for like special artifacts and stuff that have been destroyed before they've been destroyed, and different stuff like that. Kind of like how Indiana Jones, he goes after these treasure hunts. Only this guy's doing it within different periods of time. What I haven't decided if I want to keep it like Quantum Leap, where it's only within his lifetime, or expand it outside of that. So this character's name, Richard Barkley, don't tell me how I came up with that name, I just did, is a historian and physicist professor. So at Harvard. So he's a historian like Indiana Jones. He's a physicist, so he knows about time travel.
Oh yeah,
and,
all physicists.
and
A
here's
minor in time travel.
And I kind of like, I wanted to be kind of like a real geeky character, but kind of like a grown-up attitude. I've been watching a lot of Boy Meets World, and kind of like a Stuart Minkus type character. If you were to imagine him as an adult.
Oh, you don't have to. He's on Girl Meets World, dog.
Oh, that's true. But, yeah, and kind of like super silly and like he's a grown-up. But what was that?
I was shooting myself because of how bad Stuart Minkus is in Girl Meets World. Sorry.
He's really weird. But kind of like this silly like geeky character or whatever. And yeah, he's like this Indiana Jones guy that like goes after these like artifacts and these things, but he's kind of still a nerd. And then the flip side of that, he does have a partner, not a companion like on Doctor Who, but like a partner, who's like kind of the opposite, more of like a referencing Boy Meets World again, kind of like a Jonathan Turner
Okay, that works
character.
too.
Like the leather jacket, and more of like fits the Indiana Jones type.
But he's a dunce.
Kind of, little bit. And then here's the real thing too. I want it to be told kind of like, how do I word this? Told kind of like the old cartoon Johnny Quest. So like I want it to be very like
ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
also
kind of like silly,
great.
like silly, but kind of like, they're going after this serious thing. But it's kind of,
But sometimes so very silly.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the Johnny Quest, movie where there's,
No, I never saw a movie of it. I only saw the TV show.
No, so, I think it was a direct to, TV movie.
Okay.
So, made by the same people, fanboys, actors, not, live action or a big theater release thing. But, it is as silly and ridiculous as regular Johnny Quest. However, people legitimately die and things to where, it is, as a kid, ridiculously intense. And I remember getting so into it, and as a kid who was homeschooled and didn't have a lot of friends, would make these imaginary worlds for me to go and essentially roll. I'd LARP, but without rules in my living room.
I did that too.
Right?
Yeah.
This inspired so many of those things because it was a world that I knew and loved. It was matured a little bit because there were actual stakes where characters died and real things happened. But it was also as ridiculous and over the top as Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was relevant.
No, that's kind of what I was going for. But I kind of want to open it up. Do you have any suggestions as far as to take the story further? Because I haven't written an actual plot of what the first episode or issue would be. I don't know if it'd be a comic or what.
So here's my question. At least for episode Okay, so like here's what I'm kind of saying. Maybe, and this could be a stinger for the end, and you can say no, because like it kind of flips the whole thing on its head. So like, let's say he goes back in time, and he can go anywhere back in time, and he takes these artifacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he takes the sword, and he takes like Excalibur.
Yeah.
Or he takes blah blah blah. Blah, blah. I know other things about history. He takes the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
He takes something else from history.
I don't know.
And
yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. It's like old stuff that's in good condition goes for a lot of money. But like he goes to sell all of it. The last episode, let's say. Like let's just say he's in it for the money. He goes to sell all of it. They both do. But they took it from time. So it's not as historic and doesn't sell for nearly as much money. So like he goes back to take Excalibur, but he takes Excalibur like before Arthur pulled it out of the thing. So like it's not a famous sword anymore. So like he has this very old sword. So they do make some money from it. But like here's this very, very old, great condition sword from like that era, and they're like, oh, like you'll get this much money, and he's like, but this is Excalibur. They're like, X what? What's Excalibur? Because they don't know, because he took Excalibur from time.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be like really silly, but I mean, you could maybe do that. That wouldn't be.
Just a thought.
Yeah,
it's the first thing that came
bad.
to my head. You don't have to say yes. It's your idea.
I feel like that could make a real good like comedic plot. Yeah, I don't mind that idea. Another question that I have, like another thing that I kind of want to hash out is like would it be bad if any of it was all like kind of mystical, kind of like Indiana Jones, like how the Holy Grail like healed his father. Okay, do you want stuff like that? Like he goes after these artifacts that are like Excalibur is a magical sword. Do you want it to be magical?
Yes.
Or just like a historian going up?
So yeah, it's magical, right? So Science Boy, Richard, what was his name?
Barkley.
Was it
Richard
Richard?
Barkley.
Okay, I'm sorry. And then Indy, right?
Jonas Rivers is his.
Indy believes in the mysticism, and that we can have this fun back and forth where they go back in time and like sort of mystical things happen, and he's like, oh, like no, like that was just things we can't explain, supernatural, and he's forever the skeptic trying to prove things with science and stuff, and they go back and forth and argue about things, but
I
dig fun
that.
dynamic, I
I
guess.
dig that.
I don't know.
Cool.
I don't have like an ending or an arc or anything.
Yeah, no,
I think this would be
fine.
much more of an episode, like a villain of the week episode. Like we go back in time to do this thing, but not like an overarching story.
That's kind of that was actually my next thing I wanted to hash out. I have kind of like a list of things that kind of in my head was villains. Like if you wanted to have, like Indiana Jones typically fought Nazis, that was kind of his villain. So like you could do, but since
Neo-Nazis.
Well, that was the time period of the show was Nazi. So but this is since it's back in time. Like the villains are going to be different depending on where he goes.
He also has time traveling villains. And since the Nazis were bad guys and the media hated them, we'll go with who the media hates now. So he'll be fighting white conservatives.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. That's
tried.
Funny.
I forced the joke a little bit, but it was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
It was fun.
Wasn't bad.
8 out of 10. 6.
No, here's the thing too.
Out of 10.
This is really crucial since I kind of based it off of Quantum Leap. In Quantum Leap, Sam Beckett, the scientist, he travels through time because he got sent back in time through his machine and he can't get out. He just jumps wherever. And then his partner Al is in the real time and can come back as a hologram, but he doesn't actually time travel. There's a few episodes where they switch or whatever, but they can never go back at the same time. Would you want to do something like that where only one of them could go back at time at once? Like only one at a time can go through the time traveling, and the other one, like they can communicate maybe, but you get what I'm saying? Or do you want them to both go back in time? Like, I'm just curious your opinion.
I think hijinks, I think it depends on the toning of the show. Like, if you want it to be not necessarily silly, but kind of more adventurous in spirit, where they're kind of getting themselves in these ridiculous shenanigans and kind of like work their way out.
Okay.
I think it works better if they both go back.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be more of a thinking person show, where they have to be more clever and it's a lot more problem solving and being like head smart. So it just depends on like the tone you want. Because I think that way the idea of like a hologram or just communication works better.
Yeah. Well, because like the thing about the hologram too is like in Quantum Leap, it does actually get kind of funny because like no one else can see the hologram. So he'll be talking and someone will be like, "Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to?" You know. So like you can have some comedic aspect to it, some silliness. But okay, cool. I mean that's really all I have. I don't have a whole lot more for it.
So you want a commercial break then?
Sure. Let's do a commercial break. Why'd you clap?
It was the start of the commercial break.
Okay.
You know, I gotta throw off my song, okay?
Okay,
I got
go.
one chance at this.
One chance to be famous with the song.
What would you do if you had one chance or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted? Would you capture it or let it slip? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are... It's a little bit Eminem. You ready? Hey. We need some money to support Ian's drug habit. If we don't get the money we need, then Ian's gonna be a bum on the side of the road or OD on heroin.
This is supposed to be a family-friendly show, Marcus.
Well, to be fair, I did just watch a boy chicken try to make a girl chicken pregnant outside your window, and I kind of got distracted. So I'm feeling a little racy right now. And it was super awkward because I was like, what's going... Oh.
Dude, you don't live on a farm, do you?
Well, no, Ian, I don't think... Just because you live on a farm doesn't mean you regularly just scope animal sex.
That's like a normal thing when you have livestock.
That doesn't... Okay, Ian, just because it happens doesn't mean you scope...
Okay, we have to cut this out of the show.
Okay, yeah, fine, I don't care cutting this out of the show. Ian, that's the equivalent of saying, we have co-ed showers, so I don't friggin' close the curtain anymore. We're all in here, what's the point? No, just because it's a thing that happens and is around you, doesn't mean you scope it.
You turn away.
I didn't know what it was. I was like,
oh my word, you don't know.
No, I kid you not. So
do we need to review the birds and the bees?
So I regularly stare out the window while you talk because I don't want to stare right at you because I think that's weird and I turn my like whole body. I think that like feels awkward conversationally, but I don't want to look like at the camera or like at this wall. I think that also feels weird and I'm not angled enough to you. So kid you not, I stare freaking at that fence post almost the whole pitch. That like anytime you're talking, if I'm not looking like over here or something, I stare at that freaking post out there. So I was trying to start that post, and I was like, that chicken tackled, like in my head, I was like, that chicken tackled the other chicken. What's going, oh. So it wasn't like I was sat there baffled.
It's not chicken wrestling.
No, it wasn't like I was baffled by like, what could they be doing? And then went through like a systematic process. I was like, what? Oh. Like it wasn't a whole thing.
Okay.
Ian, it took like a second.
Moral of this story, caffeine's addictive. You know what else is addictive? Heroin.
Is that all going to be in there?
I don't know.
Okay. That just
Marcus,
it really confused me.
What's your pitch?
Alright, Ian, so have you seen or heard of the show Total Drama Action, Total Drama Island?
Yes.
The cartoon show. Bullcrap garbage cartoon. Don't watch it. Do not recommend.
It's a very
I'm stealing the premise of that.
bad show.
So, the premise essentially is it's like it is making fun of like reality shows like Survivor and things like that and kind of turning it on its ear. I want to do that also. I want it to be live action. I want to have it be also character based in the literal sense. So think like The Amazing Race meets Total Drama Island meets sitcoms.
Okay.
So like the Amazing Race always just does pairs, right? So like Drake and Josh are in an episode and they're going against Sean and Gus, and they're going again, like, and they're
Corey
also
and Sean.
Yeah, Corey and Sean, and they're also competing against Naruto and Sasuke, and they're also competing against. I just made those people up because they're good TV show friendships. But like, what's another good TV? Like, they're going against like Batman and Superman.
Leslie Knope and what's the other chick on?
And Perkins.
Ann Perkins.
Like so it is these famous like best friends from sitcoms being put in a Amazing Race style thing, but it's also turning the whole genre on its ear to where it's ridiculously over the top with the challenges.
Okay.
They have to go through these crazy stunts and feats.
Oh, another one. What's that show where the two guys pitch ideas to each other? And I can't think of what
sounds
it's
like
called.
trash.
Yeah.
Screw them. For real though. They
Sorry.
both sound like equally the. No, that's a good bit. I'm sorry. I want to formally apologize for not jumping in Ian's fun play space that he set up and playing around in that bit.
That was a good little bit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You did a good bit, and I shut it down. I didn't play in your fun bit play space. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
That was very good. No, I feel bad. Dang it, because that's funny. Anyway, no, Ian.
Wait,
no,
dude,
so-
hold up. Okay.
No, I did that on purpose, so we'd start the show like that.
Son.
I hate you. So, but like, I think like it'd be fun, and then they can like do these challenges, and I was playing around like with how silly I want to get. Like for a little bit, I thought like it'd be fun and silly to do like Troy and Abed from Community. That's another good one.
Yeah.
But like I thought it would be like kind of fun to do like they would have to eventually like kill each other off. But then I wasn't sure if I wanted to get that ridiculous with it. Either way, I think like I want to do something that Community did, where they have like have you seen Community?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Paintball War episodes of Community? Where they changed the whole
know.
genre of the show to where like there's like an apocalypse, like a post-apocalyptic world one, and then there's like a Star Wars themed one.
I don't know if I've seen those. Was
Okay.
it like how far into it was it?
Season 1 and Season 2.
Okay, I probably saw it then.
Like very good, but I think like very much like that to where like I want like a paintball-esque episode where it's like this is the stereotypical action movie. There actually might have been 3. There's like a Star Wars western or action movie, and it's not important. Anyway,
Okay, now I can't stop thinking of Chevy Chase's character from that show. He's so freaking funny. I'm in a band now, guys, so suck it.
Britta's a bee.
I know. That song's so terrible, but it's so funny. I'm sorry.
It is definitely fine.
Oh, that's such a good show.
It is very
Okay.
good. So, but like very much like that, to where like we find a trope of like here's this challenge you have to do. Then we find another like movie trope thing, and this is where like the total drama stuff comes in because it's even more over the top. But then these characters that we know and love, who act like the characters we know and love, and talk like the characters we know and love, do the things. So like we have a paintball episode where it's like the stereotypical whatever, I don't know.
And they're like trying to kill each other. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
like they
war.
have to like tag each other. So like the whoever loses this, they're voted off the island or whatever, or they lose. They're off the show.
Okay.
And then-
So now, okay.
and
So
then-
it would start with like a
Bunch of people.
A bunch of people, and then okay. So
And
wouldn't
then-
it be like a different team of people each episode or whatever?
Well, no,
like-
it'd be the same. So like think about it as if it
Yeah,
was
so it'd be like a reality TV
yeah,
show.
an actual reality
Each
TV
episode
show.
would be one less person.
One less team.
Okay.
Yes, even though the whole thing's scripted and silly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now would the challenges be scripted, or would the challenges actually be
Challenges are
like,
scripted.
they would
Everything
be-
is scripted. Yes.
So like the people that you would plan it so certain teams would
yes, Sean
would-
and Corey would win. Yes.
yeah, Sean and Corey.
The,
And
best,
the- okay,
the
it
best
was
TV
the-
friendship of all time would
The
win.
last
yes.
episode would be Sean and Corey versus Sean and Gus, but
Yes.
Sean and Corey would win because
Because
they're better by just a little bit. Because it's hard. I don't know. I can't really say why. I just think they're better. Anyway, go on.
probably nostalgia, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah, probably is.
However, I think that the best way, I think, as far as physical fights, and this could be a fun thing we do, it comes down to it, and there's some physical challenge they have to do, and like a thing, like we do like the stereotypical, like the thing swings down and hits Sean and
Okay.
Gus off, but it would hit both of them because Corey and Sean are notorious for getting into like physical fights.
Yeah.
They both get tackled to the ground and are fighting each other, and it hits Sean and Gus off, and the only reason they win is because they were fighting each other, which happens a lot in Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like physical wrestle fights between
Yes.
between a lot of the characters, but particularly Sean and Corey, and then for a brief period of time Sean and Jack.
Yeah. Also, kind of off topic, Boy Meets World, along with Home Improvement, Family Matters, a bunch of other 90s shows are on Hulu now, so you should go watch those shows if you don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, Home Improvement. We can do.
I'm sure people have seen Boy Meets World, but just in case no one's seen it.
We can do Tim Allen and Al Borland.
Oh, yes!
What's up?
That would be one of the best teams because, oh man.
They would lose very first because Tim's such a dangus.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say that, and Al's actually kind of.
So like, or no. They make it pretty far. They make it pretty far, but literally the whole time, Al's carrying both of them. He's carrying the whole team, and Tim's just being.
And then Tim does something that just.
Then Tim finally tries to help. Screws it up and loses.
Yes.
Like, it's such a fun play space to be in.
Yep.
That's my whole idea, though. Like, I don't have more to it.
Dude, I don't even have any questions. That's a good show. I would do that.
Like, and again, it's one of those shows that could never work because I would cross too many studios and things.
I mean,
like, you could never make it because, like,
well,
they're not gonna play with each other.
The actors, like, honestly, I could see some actors going because, like, they like doing some. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's a cool idea,"
yeah,
but the owners, they don't own the characters.
The studios would never play ball.
Yeah.
To make it work, but that's my whole idea.
It's a cool idea.
I thought it was fun. Do you want to do the housekeeping work?
Okay. Is that it? Wow, it seems like a short episode.
It is a short episode, but we're also trying to record 2 in one day.
That's fair.
So no Mass Majestic Mind next episode. I linked it.
It's okay. No, there'll be a Mass Majestic Man. Trust me, I have something. I have something.
You have a stupid bit, guy.
No, I don't. No, it's
a dumb bad bit.
I have something from Matt to say anyway, whatever. Thank you to Matt for M Cubed.
I just slapped the mic. I want to say sorry.
No.
Thank you, Tim Schoenfeld, for our theme song, Foodie Pajamas.
Yep. Thank you for all of our viewers and followers.
Don't forget to vote and send ideas in.
Yeah, don't forget to send. And like we do this show, I know we like share it on social media, but most of the people that follow the show have heard it like via word of mouth. It seems like we don't have a whole lot yet, but it just seems like the people that watch it are like talking about it. Like I know, like when I see Matt, we'll talk about the show, or like, you know. So thanks for like we've been getting a lot of good feedback from you guys. So
yeah,
so thank you for that.
Yeah, and I honestly think that like, yeah, sure, if you like our show's obviously a nerdier show, and nerds are obviously usually only friends with other nerds. So like, if you think you know other people who would like our show, share it with them. Hopefully this episode, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say, hopefully we fixed the white noise this episode.
Hopefully.
If we didn't, we have like one other thing we can try to fix it.
Maybe.
Well, 2 other things we can try to fix it that I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we fixed the white noise. So hopefully our show's getting a little bit better. And yeah, if you could, just word of mouth. I honestly think that like, when people tell me about things word of mouth, I'm way more likely to actually check it out. Like when a friend says, this is a cool thing, and shows me this cool thing that they like,
I'm the same way.
I like it.
If people send me a link to something or text me like tell me something via text, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to it as much. So like, if you word of mouth talk about the show and things and share it, I think that's the best way that we can get dedicated fans and stuff. So if you wouldn't mind, please just sharing the show with anybody you know who might like it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have coworkers, bug them till the
cows come home.
You bug so many. Here, I'll do another stupid colloquialism. Bug so many bug more coworkers than you can shake a stick at.
All right.
There's too many of them, Ian. I can't do it. Okay, cut the show.
That's the show.
Oh, ready? Is your arm out? Right.
Ready?
1.
When others are
Your arm out.
trapped,
I just said no.
I always do this part.
No,
when I'm free. Thanks to footy pajamas. Footy pajamas. Footy pajamas. They let me be what I need to be.
Fine, my arm's out from here on out for the rest of the show. My arm's out no matter what. We never change.
Okay, no, we'll do the arm out. Let's
No. My arm's out for the
1,
rest of the
2,
show.
3, go.
I hate you so much. I hate you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
It's so stupid.